Zach Braff and Donald Faison. Hey, nice to talk to y'all.
Hey, how are you? This is so exciting. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, you know, it's really good to be on this show. It's a good show to be on. I mean, last time I think
Absolutely.
I saw you, Donald, might be, we were in a movie called Homie Spumoni. Don't ask.
Yes,
it was really a great idea.
I was so excited to do that movie. Once I found out, I was so, listen, the first time Zach and I have ever cried in a movie, Purple.
Yep.
I cried my eyes out in that movie. And I remember when they said Whoopi Goldberg's gonna be in this movie, I lost it. I was like, yeah! Ah! I screamed. I was so excited.
Well, that's why I wanted to do it, because I wanted to meet you also. And Zach, you just won a Webby, yes? For a short that you directed.
Yeah,
and called
I made a short film
The Time It Takes
called
right
to Get There, and I won a writing award for writing it, and yeah, that was this time is so weird. So to all of a sudden get an award on the internet, that felt really good.
And you adopted a dog too, so that's kind of amazing as well.
Yes, that's very good. Yeah, there she is. That's my little puppy Billy. I fell in love and we adopted her. But Whoopi, I had to tell you that Donald and I were on the podcast and we were talking about you. We went on a very long whoop riff about how influential you were in our childhood, because we're both fans of The Color Purple. And as Donald said, we both said it was the first time as children we remember sobbing in a movie, and we couldn't come on and not tell you how blown away we both were by your performance in that movie.
I told you when we were making Homie Spumoni, like it's sincere. Like I just know that, you know, Fatal Beauty, Jumping Jack Flash, Clara's Heart. Like I am such a Whoopi Goldberg fan. You know what I mean? And that you got the EGOT. I'm gonna put it out there. It's only right.
Guys, you're gonna get me run over here. Joy, speak, please.
Let's talk about Whoopi's movies.
Zach. Zach, you were going to join us last week, but you needed to reschedule when your close friend Nick Cordero's health took a turn due to complication from COVID-19. We've been talking about him on the show. So tell us, how is Nick doing today?
It's a roller coaster ride, Joy. It just depends on the day. There's some days when he's doing better, and there's some days when he's very critical. You know, it's a tragic story. Nick and his wife Amanda and their 10-month-old came out to LA to look for a house. They wanted to move out here. They've been staying in my guest house. They found a home, and then he went back to New York to pack up their things, and that's when he got COVID. And he's been in ICU critical care for almost 2 months now. We just don't know. We had to cancel coming on your show because it was a particularly bad day for him. I don't know. We just don't know. He's fighting as hard as he can, but he's in very bad shape from the disease.
Very sorry to hear that.
Sonny.
Yeah, please keep us up to date on that. We've been following the story on the show. But let me switch gears, because you two starred as doctors, JD and Turk, on the hit show Scrubs for 9 seasons, and your characters were best friends, and that's also true in real life. And even though the show wrapped almost, I guess, 10 years ago, you still hear guys describing their best friends like, "This is my Turk," or "This is my JD," as a way to convey their closeness, you know, without sounding too mushy. Did you realize that those roles would have an impact on male friendships the way they have?
We didn't know. No, I mean, I think that one of the things that the characters brought up was, you know, Donald and I talk about this on the podcast, that when we were growing up, when we were going to middle school and high school, if men were, if men hugged each other, you know, kids would call you gay as a derogatory term. And Donald and I wanted to create characters that could be who they truly were. They were affectionate. They loved each other. They expressed they were so many things, and I think our goal, our hope was that young men would see, like, it's where you are. You can be affectionate with your friend. You can, you can love musicals. You could be, that were effeminate when we were children. We were hoping that we might be comfortable with themselves.
Yeah, it definitely brought out my
Megan?
comfortability around. It definitely brought out men. Like being around Zach. Now I am very happy to best. I knew we would be best friends when we wound up playing. When we moved to New York City for some. He was doing 12th night at in the park, Shakespeare in the Park, and I was doing. And one night we're in our apartment that we rented together, our loft that we rented together, our underwear playing ping pong, and I was like, "Yeah, this is my best friend."
That's wonderful. Well, Donald, first of all, I love that you're in your closet. I've never interviewed anyone straight from their closet. You've got a great collection of ties right there. I love it.
Yeah, this is where I go to escape my wife and kids.
Well, I appreciate it.
Why are you in your closet? Why?
I appreciate it. I get it. That's what my husband
hang
does
out
too.
in the closet.
Yeah.
My kids don't want to hang out in the closet. My wife doesn't.
But you're hosting a new podcast that's getting huge success called Fake Doctors, Real Friends. What made you want to do this right now?
Well, we wanted to do this well before this whole pandemic, before the quarantine thing happened. We were talking to about possibly getting on streaming a podcast where we rubs and stuff. And then the pandemic happened, and we were like, oh, I guess we're not going to. And out of nowhere, we, iHeartRadio, who we teamed up with, said, no, we can make this happen. Still willing to do it. And we said, yeah, sure. And it's turned into an escape for us. It's turned into escape for our listeners. We tried very hard not to be political or talk about what's going on, and just let them tune into us talking about our experiences in Hollywood and an episode.
Yeah, we're just trying to make people laugh. I mean, I think that what started going to happen during the pandemic, but then when it started and it started to get a wonderful reaction, Donald and I were like, well, we're always doing something to help. We're like, well, if we can make a handful of people laugh and tell some old stories and it was kind of a DVD commentary show, but then we go off on these long tangents because we have so many years of history together.
Yeah. You guys, it is such a joy to talk to the two of you. I hope that this goes on and on and on, and maybe Scrubs will come back as a film. I'm just saying. So people should check out the podcast, Fake Doctors, Real Friends. It's available wherever you get your podcasts from.